What is up, guys? Welcome back. I'm going to talk about today. Well, one, trying to get this done as quickly as possible so I can go spend some time with my dad. So let's talk about queens and pretenders. And we'll get into, I'm not going to discuss every goat in their pecking order because there's various levels. So you have top range goats, and then you have top of the top and bottom of the top and middle of the top. And then you have mid-range goats, same thing. Some of the middle range goats are at the top. And then you have bottom range goats. So I just really want to focus on who I think would be queen bee. And before I get into that, something we don't talk about, since when Jack got sick and started fading, Snickers really stepped up into the dominant male goat. Miss Cookie, you need a boy? I'll get you a boy. This is a perfect representation of you little beach ball. So Snickers 100% at this point has taken over the top goat in the male in the buck pen. And then you have obviously Mellow. And then you have baby Jack, number one, which is Caramel Latte. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with. He will be pushing the bounds if he can get himself to the top. He has no back down. He has no slow down. He will, if he doesn't make it, he'll die trying probably. And then you have little baby Jack, Jack's Gelato, the little black guy. You can't even see him. Gelato, come here, buddy. He's just at the bottom. So that's the boys, and Sweet Miss Cookie, we'll give you another boy and we'll let you have a fling, and hopefully someday something will happen. But here's the girls, and we will see you guys tomorrow. What's up, y'all? Tracy, who we got Little Miss Sparkles from, has officially named me the Goat Whisperer because this little girl, Miss Sparkies, come on, baby. Wow, just rude though, just rude. Does stuff like that. I just kind of say, hey, Sparks, come on. She knows right where her stall is, and she gets up in there. Here's the situation. At Tracy's, at Arrowhead Acre Farms, she was at the top, or closer to the top. So she had an attitude problem. You know, she's like the Sprinkles, aka Pennywise. Close to the top, but not at the top. Likes to bash other goats for no apparent reason, just because they were walking there. Likes to snub me. But so when she came here and she started kind of falling in and being cute and cuddly and listening to when I talked to her and things like that, and I sent Tracy some video the other day, and she's like, what? And here, there's a different dynamic. She came in here, she was at the very bottom. So she had to bow down and step aside and kiss butt, basically, to not get the crap beat out of her every day. She has kind of moved up. She's like at the top of the bottom, if that makes sense. You have bottom goats. Well, you guys are bottom feeders until you get bigger. Sorry, just it is what it is. You have bottom of the barrel because she wants to be, or doesn't care not to be, because she's like the sweetest little angel that exists. No, you got to get in there, though. You got it next to you. You're the cutest. She's the sweetest. Okay, see? Stopping for pets. I'm not sure about this one. Miss Licorice. She plays this nice girl thing, but I think in the background she's picking and poking and prodding and just being super annoying until someone beats her up. But she's never really... A lot of the goats, they'll start some crap. They'll just walk right up and be like, hey, I don't like you. And then they'll headbutt. But I think this one plays this like sweet little angel. Oh, look at me, I'm so cute and cuddly. But then she'll walk up to Snickers and she'll like bite her on the side for no reason. And Snickers will be like, no, we don't, not Snickers, pudding. And Puddin will be like, we don't do that. And then she'll beat the crap out of her. Bottom of the barrel. I think she wants to move up. You're never going to rise above Puddin, probably, Miss Lady. This is our quiet background goat. Just kind of don't mess with me. Her thing is Sugar Pie. Sugar Pie is leave me alone. But if you tick me off, I'm coming with everything. All guns blazing, we're having at it. This one is sweet and quiet, just like her daughter. And her daughter is Drummy Drumsticks. Hi, baby. Did you wink at me? Quiet, cuddly, nice. She never really even makes a noise. But Puddin is her sister. And they've always been stallmates and they've always been buddies. And they're actually birth litter mates. Are you grooming? We see some goat grooming. This is not something you see very often, or that I catch on camera very often. But she's a toughie. She is not. She's not going to back down, but she also really doesn't start anything. But Puddin, being her sister, who wants to be queen, has a little bit of authority in the barn, huh, Queen Bee? You got some authority. Some perceived authority, anyway. So she kind of falls into that. I'll back you up. I'll fight people. And if you mess with me, I'll tattle and tell my sister, who will come over and bash you. I really do. At the end of the day, if I had to pick someone to be queen, it would be Puddin. However, I've seen her back down to other goats. And let them win. And I don't know if that's a strategy or if that's her. I'm not sure on that one, because I guarantee you 1,000% the real queen never bent a single knee to any goat in this barn ever. She does not bow down. She does not back down. And I'm telling you guys, if you go back and you watch some of my older videos when we first started, it's this weird queen. I don't know what it's this weird dynamic where she has always been a very respectful, very fair. Quit. Hi. I don't know if you guys saw her sneak in there, but she's always been very respectful, very fair. She never really. On occasion, I would see her put a hit on somebody that I didn't think deserved it, but you know, there's those dynamics. Something I may not have seen or picked up on. But she always seemed to be very fair. Everybody respected her. And if you disrespected her, the thing with Struzel always was, if you watch around now, if somebody disrespects Sprinkles, she'll put a couple hits on him. She'll fight at him. They'll fight back. They'll kind of agree to disagree and they'll move on. Struzy, in her prime, if you disrespected her, she's going to start beating you, and she's going to beat you until she beats you into that corner, and she's going to keep beating you until you're 100% fully submissive. All you want to do is get away, walk away, and not look back. And that was the kind of the thing with her, was like, don't disrespect her, because you will. You will. It's hard to talk about how tough the queen is when you're sitting here grinning like this. Look at your little chinny chin face. Jesus. Oh, you guys, you're so cute. But that's kind of the difference that I've seen in Queen Wannabe and the real queen. If you go back, like I was trying to say, if you go back and you watch some of the videos and you catch where the girls were either out on the porch or in the pasture, and they were in the way of where Struzel wanted to go. Struzel never walked around anything, if that makes sense. She was coming through the center of the pack or the herd. And if you were not moving, you would take a beating. So when she would walk wherever she was walking, whenever she wanted to, the herd would literally part. They would step aside and let her walk through there. One, respect. Two, she's going to bash you if you don't move out of her way. And so it just became this thing when she would start walking towards them, they would just step aside. Everybody would split. Like the herd would literally split, and she would walk down the middle like the queen. And so that's kind of like, I don't want to get, I've done a couple hierarchy things before and talked about some different goats. And a lot of time you see these goats in the background and they have good authority, they have good standing. They just don't want, look, let me talk about this for a second. They just don't want that leadership position, but they also, like Sugar Pie, I was saying, I don't think she has any desire to be queen, but she also doesn't want to take any crap from anybody. So she will leave everybody alone, and then if she has to, she'll fight, but she will fight and she will win. Cause you old big girl, you chonky. Yeah, she got some heft. She's probably right around that 78 pounders, whereas these guys are 55 to 60 pounds. So you throw an extra 25 pounds of weight behind a hit, you know, she's got a lot of force. Now, Cookie, on the other hand, Cookie has been kind of going through this phase here the last couple weeks, I would say. I've noticed it, where she's really kind of stepped up into this. She's gone past this fighting with people. Guys, I love my goats. I always just call them people. I don't know why. She's gone past fighting and fussing with other goats to a real authoritarian kind of position where she's letting it be known that she's not to be messed with. And if she's coming through, you're moving. And I'm seeing a lot of the traits, the old traits that Streusel used to have, start to come out in Cookie. Now, if Cookie wants to be queen, she would become queen. But I'm afraid she would get to queen and then stop caring about halfway through and be like, you guys just... And then on the other hand, if she is queen and she literally doesn't care, so it's like, well, I don't see the leadership qualities there, or... It's a weird dynamic. Are we going out in the field? I don't know. We want to go out. I don't care. You know, that kind of thing. Like, there is a leadership role within the herd, and that queen does lead out, and that queen does lead back, and she does help break up some fights. I've seen that happen. She's just that, you know, if he's taking a beating, he can go run and hide behind the queen. Nobody's going to run at him when Streusel's standing there. So that herd dynamic our herd dynamic is kind of fluid right now. It's people ask all the time, like, who do I think the queen is going to be? And I honestly think Streusel. I think Puddin'. I think Puddin' will 100% take that role. I really do. I think she will be queen. It's just kind of a long transition, and it's this weird transition. Now, if Struzzi had just gotten sick and died, Puddin' would have 100% stepped right into that position. She would have started laying down the law. Other goats would have started following her. Tickie's always just this little quiet, cutie little thing in the background, but she's that girl that, like, she's sassy. She'll I don't know. She's quiet, but then she'll start some stuff just to stir it up. It's like Mean Girls in this barn all day long. But what I was saying is, I think if Streuzel had, if we would have experienced the natural progression, like, if the herd queen had just passed away, she would. I think Puddin' would have jumped right in that position, and all the goats would have started following her. There might have been some sorting things out. I think Sprinkles could quite easily be queen as well. Her problem is she doesn't have kind of a backup goat. Tic Tac is her is her BFF, but not like sisters. If you guys have grown up with sisters, I have 2 sisters. You don't. That's inseparable. You as the youngest of 4, I am well aware that if you mess with one sister, you get the wrath of both. I don't care what's going on. If they're so mad at each other that they're not even talking, and you bring some business to their door, they're going to start talking, and you are going to be on the other end of that, which is good. Sisters need to stick together. But I think Sprinkles could naturally fall into that rule as well. She's a little meaner, just straight mean. Cookie, scratch your butt. That's all, guys. I can't not leave on that. What's going on, man? Look at your epic bangs. Boop, 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 boop. Bangs. Yep. Last but not least, my friends. That little firecracker right there, Miss Gucci, Miss Mississippi Mudpie. She is going to probably rule this roost. She's going to be a force to be reckoned with. She's not going to stand second fiddle to her mama, which is Puddin'. She's going to make moves. We're going to go full beast mode and take over the world. Oh, look, it's releasing the babies. Oh, my little babies. They're all so grown now. Y'all, if you haven't been watching, you have to go back to spring when we had babies and we were letting them out of the stall every morning and letting them flood the camera. All right.